All right. With that, we go to our guest line and we bring on our final guest today. If you happen to be watching us on QSportsTalk.com, you will see Alan Griffin joining us now, SU assistant coach. Griff, always great to check in with you. Before we get to basketball, we were just talking baseball in the last segment. Our Yankees are hurting right now. Are you concerned with how they're playing? Or, I just said it's during a long season, there's peaks and valleys. They're kind of in a slump right now. Are you concerned with how they're playing right now?
Oh, definitely. We got up to such a great start, and usually when the Yankees get up to the start that we got off to this year, we win in 100, over 100 games and competing for a World Series. But like right now, it's a struggle, and we had some guys step up due to injuries, but it's just one guy. It's just a struggle all over the place, and hopefully we can kind of get healthy first and foremost, and then get back to hitting the ball.
I don't mean to bring this up and put you in a bad spot, but Eddie Lampkin tweeted out yesterday that he didn't mean any disrespect by wearing number 44. He wore it at Colorado. What's your take on this whole situation about the numbers being up in the rafters and what can be worn and what can't be?
I can't, to be honest with you, I can't really get into it. But I thought Eddie's response to everything that's going on was super. I thought it was great. I thought he nailed it. He paid homage to the guys before him. To be honest with you, it made me aware of some stuff too, because I thought that people went away from retiring numbers. I thought it was just the jersey. So I don't know it. So it's just one of those things where it was brought to my attention with this whole deal, and just to get some clarification from it, But again, I thought Eddie's statement was, I think, what we all, we're going to support him. Obviously, we support our former players too. So it's a hard thing, but again, it's above my pay grade. To be honest with you. So
and there was someone wearing Dave Bing's jersey on your team last year. So I don't get it either. So
yeah. And you're all part of this. Yeah, go ahead.
Again, I think it's an unfortunate situation because it's just too much negative stuff behind it, right? And it's supposed to be a great time, a fun time. I think our team is in a great place right now. Obviously, with them being back, guys are working hard. The new guys are bringing so much energy and positivity to what's going on. So it's just we're in a good spot, good place, and we just want to just keep improving.
Yeah, so let's talk some basketball. What are you guys doing this time of year? Can you give us an idea of how much you get to work with the players, how much you're seeing them day in and day out?
So we see our players all the time. Obviously, we're in here all the time grinding, and we get to work out with our guys. I think basketball, I think 4 hours a week. So we do 2 days of practice in terms of a full team practice, and then 2 days of individual stuff. So that's how we split up our hours. And then these guys get to work with our strength and conditioning coach, Ryan Kabilis, all the time. So pretty much all the time. So we do a good job of being around our guys, and we eat breakfast every morning as a team. It's just, it's just one of those things where we just kind of getting to know the new guys and obviously continue to grow with the older ones.
Yeah. How weird is it this year? It's like a complete new roster for you, and maybe even next year it could be a whole new roster for you.
Right. Yeah, but you know what? When you recruit character, when you recruit good kids, when you recruit somebody that wants, kids that want to be here for all the right reasons, it's easy to get to know those kids, right? That's just it's just one of those things that's just refreshing when you walk in the gym. Is, hey coach, what's going on? How's your night? Just stuff like that. So the turnover, we feel like the guys that we got, we felt like we had them for the last 10 years. Good, really good group of kids. Really good group.
you mentioned they get to work with strength and conditioning. How are things going for the guys that were hurt last year, McLeod and Westry?
Looking good, really looking good. I think it's a lot of positivity coming from that way in terms of where they are. Obviously because of obviously the HIPAA law and all that stuff, I can't really talk about the injuries. But I can just tell you this: they look really good.
Talking about some of the new faces, Griff, how about Eddie Lampkin from a playing standpoint? I mean, what stands out to you about his abilities? What can SU fans expect out of one Eddie Lampkin come the fall when we see him?
He's a very good bat. Like, he knows the game. He really knows how to play. He's very vocal, energetic. Probably would be a fan favorite just because of the passion that he brings and his ability. Like, he can. The most surprising thing to me is his. We've seen it on film, but his ability to pass the basketball, is really special.
All right. How about, Paulie was bringing up the new faces on the team. How about just the fact that you've got a new coach in there as well, and Dan Engelstad? How's it been kind of getting to know him? And, curious if you guys keep in touch with Jerry. I know he's been obviously very busy, getting things underway at Siena, but how much do you stay in touch with Jerry?
Yeah, first, Dan, I've known Dan for a long time. When I was working at St. Francis, New York, he was working at, I want to say the Mount was the head coach there, but he wasn't the head coach at the time. He was an assistant. So we would see each other at, some of the same events. So I knew Dan from afar. We wasn't like best friends where we talked on the phone and stuff like that, but it was obviously a mutual respect when we see each other. You say hello, but Dan's bring a wealth of experience to our program. He's great with the guys. Knows his stuff in terms of basketball, and he's going to be a great addition to not just our basketball program and our school, but our university, but just to the community too. Once a lot of people get to know Dan, his personality is really good. And yeah, Jerry's family, we talk to Jerry all the time. We just FaceTime 2 days ago. So we'll never not talk to Jerry. Obviously, he's busy doing, running his own program and stuff like that. So again, he's family. We played Oak Hill a couple of weeks ago together. So it's again, we always going to see him. I saw Blackwell the other day up here. Unfortunately, came for one of our buddies' funeral, but it was sad that we seen each other on that occasion, but it was always great to seeing him. He's one of my best friends. So that staff is like a family. So we talk to them all the time.
How hard has it been with recruiting when you lose an assistant coach like that? To get somebody else to take over for it.
It's not hard at all, because our philosophy is that it's not his recruit or my recruit, is our recruit, right? So when you recruit as a staff, when someone leaves or someone gets ill and they can't do something, that kid knows all of us. He don't just know the guy that's primarily recruiting. Now, obviously, you have a point man that's doing the day-to-day stuff, but when it's all said and done, I talk to Dan's recruits, Dan talked to my recruits, and Brendan recruits, so it's more of a us thing than a me thing, and that's where if we have someone move on to another situation, you just pick up and go. It's no re-recruiting them, and you just introducing that kid to the new guy, and the other faces are familiar, and you just keep it moving.
Quick question for you: how'd you shoot at Oak Hill?
I was wondering the same thing.
You know what? I shot a 95 at Oak Hill. Yeah, really good. Shot a really tough course. Probably, I got my fix for the next 2 years. It's like the pros are really, really good because that place mentally will ate me up. Man. It was crazy. So yeah.
I do want to bring up something that Paulie brings up on the show quite often, and that is the center. No, you talk about the need for maybe another big guy out of the portal. So you've got McLeod, you've got Lampkin. Is there anyone else on the roster you feel comfortable, you and the coaches feel comfortable with at center, or do you just have two, or or can Jair Davis slide into there if need be, or do you have a third center if you needed one right now?
I mean, even just think about putting like a guy like Donnie Freeman at the 5. Think about how much an advantage is that could be for us, especially on the on the offensive end. But Jair's played center, so it's going to be by committee. Obviously we're still actively looking. We got a couple of months to maybe we can land somebody, or we just don't know. You just don't know. But I think we like what we have. But in the crunch, if we have to, those are the two guys, the two candidates that you can slide into the 5 position, and they can hold their own.
Find somebody this time of year
very,
with the portal is it?
Very hard.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah,
right?
very hard. You got to get really lucky. Yeah, sometimes there's kids that's playing on the circus that are high school kids that are going probably post grad because they didn't get the level that they wanted. And sometimes you can see one of those kids and you might pick up a high school kid late. You just never know the situation. It's just you just always got to be on the lookout.
Yeah. All right, Griff. We love catching up with you. Thanks so much for coming on. I hope you can enjoy some downtime this summer, although I know these days coaching is a 365-day a year job, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, be well. Enjoy some of the summer, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon. All right, Alan Griffin joining us here on the show, and we're going to take a time out. 315-437-7644. Still time for a phone call.
You just got your answer, Steve. No, I can't ask that question for the rest of this.
Well, no, you
took it off the table.
You've brought it up several times, and I
can't bring it up again.
Well, I wanted to know what the answer was.
No, one less topic this summer to talk about.
I think it's good.
I like the idea of Freeman.
Yeah, and we've discussed what are the options. Just like we discussed what are the options at the point guard position with Coach Griff before. So always great catching up with him. We'll take our final time out. We'll wrap things up next on ESPN Radio.